Douglas Murray was recently interviewed on BBC. I think it was Newsnight. I can't remember. And they were saying to him, I mean, why do you talk so much about these demographic issues? I mean, if you've got a problem with someone like Sajid Javid, who's a British Muslim and he's a Conservative MP and actually very sympathetic to Israel, and it's like no one is saying that every single Muslim is the problem, and it's this ridiculous caricature of trying to talk about a serious issue. Mehdi Hassan himself, the pro-Islamist, anti-Israel journalist, said that anti-Semitism is the Muslim community's dirty little secret. It's not making a racist statement about every single Muslim, but it is stating that there are some serious cultural issues that need to be addressed. And yet, talking about, what's the problem with Sajid Javid is such a pathetic deflection of a very serious issue. And it just reminds me of this point you're saying, that why are we so unable in our society to talk about these important issues, and instead we just suppress it, we deflect, we silence it? What do you think is going on there at like a psychological level?
I did see that Newsnight interview with Douglas, and I've spoken with Douglas about these things. I think that it's a very sensitive topic, especially for Jewish people, actually, because I think that we've been the victims of prejudice and unfair discrimination throughout our history. And so it doesn't come naturally to us to want to criticize other people's beliefs or other minorities' status or actions. But I think that the difference is that sometimes other groups actually do things that are wrong or problematic, and our natural inbuilt fear of doing to others what was done to us might stop us from talking about it. And I think that maybe applies outside those circles as well. So not just to Jewish people, but it's just not done to criticize minority groups or other people's religious beliefs too much. But I think we need to get over that, because if a minority group or a religious belief or set of philosophies and outlooks is worthy of criticism, and I'm not just talking about Islam, I'm talking about any religion or philosophy, we should criticize it. That's the whole point in the freedoms that we have. So if you don't like Marxism, you can discuss openly the problems with Marxism and criticize people who try to push that form of politics and thinking and society on the rest of us. If you don't like Judaism, go ahead, discuss it. If you don't like Islam, same thing should apply. And yet I think that there's a few things at play which stop people doing that. One is what I just described, and the other one is fear. Because quite famously, if you're too critical of Islam, or you do it in a way that is offensive somehow to extreme practitioners of that faith, you stand to be killed or treated badly in some other way. Your personal safety is at risk. So I think there is a great fear of that. And among politicians, there's also a fear of losing votes, because I think there are clearly parts of the country where the electorate does vote according to those identitarian or sectarian lines. So I think all of those things are there. And I really do understand the sensitivities around this. I do understand the difficulties around it. And I never want to be somebody that is criticizing all Muslims or somebody that is racist in any way against specific groups. I think that's important, but I think it's equally important that with those things in mind, we should still discuss these very difficult topics. When it comes to Sajid Javid, I think that was a particularly weird trick that the BBC played in that interview, because he was talking about the idea that Douglas had apparently written or said somewhere that less Islam would create less extreme Islam. And he said, don't you mean then less Sajid Javids and less Sadiq Khans? So making it specific and personal is a problem. But I'll say Sadiq Khan recently did something quite outrageous. I wrote a piece about it in The Spectator when he made that video, I think it was for Eid, in which he decided to wish Muslims greetings for their festival, but he used that opportunity as Mayor of London, elected Mayor of London, to make it political, to have a go at Israel, to effectively and unjustifiably speak about Israel in a way that wasn't reasonable or fair, wasn't representative as mayor of London of anything, and alienated many Jewish people. So
Yeah.
I think that Sadiq Khan is not immune from these problems and sensitivities either. And I think that trying to pick out people like that is a way of trying to silence people like Douglas Murray. And Douglas, of course, has added an enormous amount to this debate over the years. He's one of the people that first tackled these subjects openly in his writings and in all of his activities. And as a result, of course, he has been very largely targeted by some on the left or some who disagree with him who want to silence him for doing that. And I'm obviously against that.